speaking of Zidane, getting older now and realizing that that individualism is kind of gone from the game. That there's two players that I've seen. All of you boys have seen them as well. I feel like the two players that we've seen live. I'm not talking Maradona. I saw Maradona once in the '94 World Cup when it was nothing. It was like a goal against Greece, and then he went home on doping charges. But the two players that were pleasure to watch were Zidane and Ronaldinho. I feel like
Baggio?
they just stand out. I caught a little bit of Baggio, but sure. You're old enough to see Baggio, Damiano?
I was a little kid, but I do.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him in the World
Juventus,
Cup.
yeah, he was
I
top
watched
shelf.
him in the World Cup. Yeah, but
I saw Baggio twice, I think. I saw Baggio
In
live
person
in
or
person.
live?
live in person. Yes.
Oh wow, yeah, I never
Yes.
saw him live.
But for me, no
Person.
doubt in my mind, Del Piero Zidane.
Yeah.
What they could do with a ball was. I mean, I spoke about Zidane before in a previous podcast. I think it was last year's one. When you see him play, it was like a magician. Like he had the ball taped to his feet or whatever, or with
Hmm.
strings, or. But with Del Piero, pre-injury Del Piero, even it was the same. Like it was. We speak about Kenan Yildiz, and I don't want to take anything away from Kenan, but if I compare what Del Piero could do with Kenan or what he actually did, there's no comparison. And then special shout out to Francesco Totti. Francesco Totti
Love
was.
it.
I hate him as a person, especially because of the rivalry and just the way that he comes across at times. But football wise, he was on a different planet, and it's gonna be long because now it's Haaland this, Mbappe that, Yamal this. But if
Hmm.
we compare, and I know it's difficult because it's different type of football and whatever, but intrinsic quality, talent, and just no, nobody rivals.
Jurgen is shouting out Javi as well. Yeah.
Nah,
No.
nah,
No
no,
love. No love for
no.
Javi.
I have to agree with Freddie. Zidane was in a class all on his own. I'm old enough to have
Insane.
seen Maradona. I saw Maradona at the World Cup in 1990. Baggio, another one in 90 and 94. But Zidane, his class with the ball. And for some reason, the way he made it look so effortless to me was
Mhm.
always most amazing. It just looked like he wasn't trying. Pirlo had a
Yeah.
little of that same effect on the ball, but not to the
no.
level of Zidane. But
When first of all, podcast idea. We get as many co-hosts as possible, and we just name players and just talk about the memories. I don't think we've ever done like a really relaxed podcast. We just shout out names and talk about and if we seen them live or second. When Pirlo played for Juve, I always had this phrase in my head when he was just circling around himself in the midfield. I always thought not even God himself can come down and take the ball away from Pirlo. It felt like just nothing can happen. Same thing with Zidane. Freddie mentioned his, the ball taped to his feet. It was there could have been a player coming from the right. There could have been a player coming from the left. And Zidane would do something to eliminate both of them in one little move that was so elegant. Just sometimes you just given talent from up above, man. I guess he was one of them. I don't know how this podcast ended up being a Zidane podcast, but why not, right?
No, Zizou.
Yeah. I'm still working on the shirts to release.
that's how bad the game was, Farhad.
Yeah, right. We're
Right.
talking about players who are retired right now.
I mean, another question, and it's a very I don't
We're gonna
know.
go soon. Let's
We're
wrap
gonna
it
go
up. But yes, go ahead,
just one.
Frederick.
Would we have won with a prime Zidane in our squad yesterday?
Yes. How am I gonna say no after all this, right?
But I mean, that fortifies my whole
Who
point.
was going to score if Zidane didn't? Because it didn't. Leao
I think
played 20 minutes. He had more shots than all three of our strikers combined.
I feel like Zidane and Kostic would have been a deadly combination. Zidane, Kostic, and Del Neri at the helm. That would have been a Juve I want to see.
yeah, I had to make it weird again for it. You had to make it weird again. But that's my whole point. Like, if you don't have quality, then you're done with. And that goes for every era of football. We had quality, we had mentality. If you put that two together, then it would be amazing. Ooh, that's
Yeah.
a nice question.
That's a nice question to finish up today's episode number 318. Again, 318. We'll ask a question from the audience. Saucy McSauce, first of all, love your name. I don't think it's a real name. It's his real name though. But he's asking if you could make any signing in January, who would it be and why? Who wants to take on this beast of a question? Let's take a second to think about it.
I'll go first.
We got to
If I
categorize
may.
dream signing or realistic signing. Then I'll let Freddie go. But
Yeah,
If you can make one signing, I think he's thinking more of a realistic signing. Freddie, floor is yours.
I'd go for McTominay.
Nice.
For me, he ticks all the boxes of a modern day footballer. And I think he can add a lot of quality to our midfield. And I think he's the type of player that makes every player around him 10% better just by doing what he does and doing it so well and so thoroughly thought out of that you have like you're playing with 12 men. I always get this vibe. I think if he didn't play at Napoli at this point, I don't think Napoli would end up top 5 even. I really feel that he's a thriving force behind Napoli. And I always thought that even last season. And if you look at his statistics, the goals that he creates, the assists, he's a very complete midfielder. And that's the one thing we're lacking sorely at this point, in my opinion.
I was gonna say just a midfielder because I wasn't sure.
Just any random midfielder.
Well, I mean, we should get that's the department that we should kind of invest in January.
The attacking midfielder, I imagine.
Something that makes plays.
We will.
Don't let me play it.
Just no coat miners. We got to get rid of no coat miners. Can we get rid of them?
Should we end with a scoop?
Nah, scoop. I wouldn't be surprised if you get 3 players in January, and not just 3 any random. Serie B 18 games under his belt kind of player. I think, depending on the coach's situation, I think we'll get some thorough signings.
The next episode of the Scoop would be like, how many are we going to get rid of? Because we're carrying some dead weight. We are carrying.
I'm hoping 4 at least. Hoping.
I'd rather hear that than the signings. But just to answer your question real quick, the viewer's question, if I had to give you a name, I would be in that sort of attacking midfield department.
Mm-hmm.
I might go like a Tijani Reijnders, someone who's played really well. I like the McTominay shout. I think we definitely need to shore up the midfield. Our midfield is, although I also think we can't clearly assess what our midfield can do. I know it's a small piece Midetti's missing, but also we haven't committed to playing 3 central midfielders.